What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Local Parlay Boys back with episode 2 for UFC 312 with Dricus Duplessis versus Sean Strickland. Tonight we're going to be giving you guys a couple picks.
Only a couple. I need my notes again. Okay, we're going to start off with Colby Thickness and Alexandre Pantoja.
Yeah, I'm about to restart if I haven't seen one. Colton left? What do you mean?
I'm back. Okay, we're going to go to Colby Thickness and Alexandre Topuria. I'm going with Topuria just because of plot armor. I don't have to explain that. His older brother's the champ. Little brother is the champ.
I don't know much about these two fighters, but I'd probably go with Thickness by decision, just due to activity. I don't think Topuria's fought since like 2023.
I said Colby Thickness. He's got more wins, better wins. A pretty well-rounded fighter too. So,
Riga, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alexandre Topuria just because I think he is gonna be almost as good as Topuria. You know, just I think he'll also have a good run in the UFC. I don't know if he'll be champ, but I think he'll have a good run and he'll, you know, do what he has to do to win, whether it be submission or KO.
Sweet. All right, moving up to Wayne Kong and Bruno Brazil. I'm going Wayne Kong. Like we were speaking outside of it, but Tanner said that she'll probably, or someone said that she'll probably learn from her last fight. But by decision, it's a 3-round fight. So
I'll go Wing Kong.
I'll probably go Bruno Brazil. Wing Kong's lost on the ground. Bruno Brazil's definitely better on the ground. Wing Kong, like, as soon as that takedown comes in, I think it's probably over. Or safe to say it's gonna be over. So over a 3-round fight, all she has to do is get her down, which shouldn't be a problem unless she gets caught on the feet, which is always a possibility.
Yeah, I'm also probably going to go with Bruna just because the same stuff Tanner's saying. If Wayne Kong can keep it on the feet, I think she'll have a better chance, you know. But it's not 100%. But I think the odds are just in her favor because of the hype, you know. It's not really based on the skill.
Yeah.
all right. Moving up the card, we're going to skip a couple fights. Just moving to Jake Matthews and Francisco Prado. I'm going to go Jake Matthews just based on the sole experience that he's got. He's got, 13 more fights than him, professionally recorded. Yeah, just with the experience, I'm going to go by Jake Matthews from decision win.
I got Jake Matthews by KO or decision, like Colin said. He's definitely more experienced than fighter. It's just experience versus inexperienced. And Jake Matthews has good counterpunching and all that. And the other fighter's probably like just more sloppier on the feet. I had to give it to Matthews to pick him apart and win.
I'll go also Jake Matthews. He's got more man strength. I mean, he does, definitely. He's 8 years older. Cisco Prado, he's lost to Daniel Zellhuber, which isn't a bad loss, but Jamie Malarkey, that's kind of a toss. Whereas Jake Matthews kind of hit like a little rut, but recently, like all the recent outings from like 2022 onward, he's looked pretty good. So I'd probably say Jake Matthews.
Sweet.
I don't know much about these two, but I'm just gonna go with the underdog. Just for the underdog pick. That's solely it. I don't know much.
Sweet.
But I'll go with Francisco.
All right, moving up, skipping Jimmy Shoot's card. Moving to Justin Taffa and Textera. I'm going to go Textera here just because of Taffa's recent performances.
I'd go Texera by knockout.
Yeah, I'm about to say that, knockout.
Texera.
Tanner?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure this is the debut for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like actual like
series.
UFC debut. Yeah, so it's still his debut. But shit, he's 7 inches taller. Justin Tafa kind of gets eaten up by everything. Like, to be honest, he's not good. So I can only hope that Taliesin doesn't lose to him, because that'd be sad. His kickboxing was tough. Tafa's like whole background, both of the brothers. Turned out their kickboxing isn't actually that good, especially as soon, like, they leave their legs out there to be eaten up. And if it does go to the ground, like, I mean, I don't know who's worse, Kong Wang or the Tafa brothers on the ground, but I'd probably say Texera has a better chance, and I hope he wins. So
Get some good heavyweights going again. Rigo?
I'm probably going to go with Teixeira, just because I'm looking at their height differences and reach differences, and I think Teixeira can probably just hit him to the body with the kicks. Keep it at range, and then come in with a big shot. But he's always he can always get knocked out, by a big punch. Tafa can do that, but I just see it going Teixeira's way by either decision or stoppage TKO.
Sweet. Moving up.
Sweet.
Zhang Wei Li and Suarez. I want to go Zhang, but I think I'm going to go Tatiana Suarez by decision. I don't know why. I think it's my brain thinking that. I want Zhang to win, but yeah, I think I'm going to go Tatiana's by decision.
Kind of split between this one too. I would say I'd edge it out to Wei Li, given her striking is miles better, and she's always like just improving her game. But what's funny?
First, I was thinking
lost track of
Tatiana.
what I was saying.
I was thinking Tatiana at first, just because she is like a phenomenal wrestler. She's probably like the best like women's grappler, other than Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison. But like at this strawweight, like there's no one close to her. However, I think with all the time that Wei Li has spent training, especially for Carla Esparza, who was that wrestler before, I think I think I'd edge it to Wei Li. She also looked really good at weigh-ins. And within the past 2 years, Tatiana has only fought twice, or within the past 5.5 years, Tatiana Suarez has only fought twice. And she's still riddled with injuries. So it's kind of like, is she coming into the fight 100% healthy? Like, you don't know that. Whereas with Wei Li, you can kind of know that she's pretty solid whenever it comes to stuff like this. And she's the only loss that she has, like recently, was the head kick to Rose and the split decision to Rose, which was arguable, but I believe Rose still won that. But I just believe like everything goes in Wei Li's favor besides the grappling. Like, she's lived in the lights before. Tatiana has been prepared for the lights and to live in it, but what will really matter is like how Tatiana responds to that pressure on Saturday night. And I think Wei Li just overall should handle the pressure, everything better.
Experience.
Just bounce back on what Tanner said, because I kind of lost track of what I was saying. Colton made a funny joke. I would edge it out to Wei Li because just she's always preparing for her weaknesses. And the issue with Tatiana is she's just a volume wrestler. And if she does get her into deep waters, that's how she would win. But I would still do Wei Li by decision. But I'm split on it.
Also, how's, like, no one really knows Tatiana's like cardio, like, for her more recent fights, because I mean, she does finish a lot. Like, she is a really phenomenal fighter, but it's just like, if she doesn't get Wei Li in the second round, what's she gonna look like in the third round? And this is still Wei Li who's probably hitting her. I mean, we saw it, like, Wei Li hip thrust 300 pounds. I think it's 293 to be exact. Like, yes, like, grappling technique does come into play here, but also brute strength is also a big thing. It's like what Tom Aspinall said, like, you have to have a mix of it all, and Wei Li has Proven.
All right, Rico.
I'm probably just gonna go with Suarez, just because everyone else is going with Wei Lee.
I was going with Suarez.
Oh shit!
All right, moving up the card. Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland main event. I'm gonna have to go Dricus du Plessis on this one by finish. Well, yeah, there I go. Dricus du Plessis by finish. I don't know what round, but by finish.
How many takedowns did he score on Sean? 6?
6, but for a total of 2 minutes and 19 seconds of control time. So
Yeah. So
I don't know how much it counts.
I think Sean prepared very well for this. Like, I feel like everyone prepares well for Dricus, but it's just different when you get in the cage with him and you see what you're doing stops or it's like isn't working. Like in the first fight, like Dricus has a high guard. John is just throwing straights down the pipe over and over. And then Dricus still survives, gets him down, hits him back with some curveball that he doesn't see. And then just as the fight goes on, as in the first fight, as Sean was, his cardio was like fading a little. He was just throwing sloppier and Dricus edged him out. I'm saying that a lot. Dricus edged out the win in the first fight. I think it's just gonna.
We got a gooner.
Yeah. I think this second fight will, if he's not knocking Dricus out or finishing him, Dricus is gonna get it again, more or less the same way. Because everyone has a game plan for him, but the game plan goes out the window when, for instance, like you're Izzy, you're rocking him, and then he falls on your leg and takes you down with him. It's just a contingency plan. Who has the better one? Dricus always throws sloppy. His head is his defense. Everything gets past him, but I still think he'll win. I think it's just the style, whatever his style is. Dricus by decision, or Sean by KO, DKO.
I'm gonna go. But I believe that Sean won 1, 2, and 5 in their first fight, and everyone like factors in Dricus's 6 takedowns. But like I said earlier, like that was only for 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So if anything, that shows how good Sean's his ability to just stand up. He says it all the time in like his whenever there's a video from Extreme Couture of him like doing like a seminar or being the leader like during their sparring and stuff, he always says just get up, and that's literally what he does. Dricus did nothing to him on the ground, couldn't do anything to him on the ground. Sean has probably among the middleweights like the best jiu-jitsu apart from Robert, even though DDP is the one with the most recent jiu-jitsu record. I think he competed in a tournament just a couple months ago. But Sean, he's like a much more technical fighter. He does stand and bang, but Dricus really brings it to him. So I think that's what tires out Sean, is Sean's used to marching forward, but Dricus will just walk into him and push him backwards. And going backwards is much more energy like depleting than going forwards. But I still think that Sean and Dricus, they have like the willpower. None are better than those two when it comes to willpower. They will go until one of them either like gets finished or until it goes to all 5 rounds. And you saw in the last fight, they were slugging it out. But again, I don't think anything changes in the fight. I think Sean's the better fighter overall. I think he won the first fight. Would I be surprised if Dricus edges it out again? No, but I think Sean's going to be more prepared for the slip takedowns that Dricus scored against him. So I'd just take Sean. I just think he's overall better everywhere.
Rigo, you got anything?
Yeah, so I could see this one going either 2 ways. I think a lot of people forget that, the way Dricus throws his punches and dips his head, and especially when they're super close, it like always leaves a very high chance for headbutts. And that's exactly what cut Sean in the eye. And I think the vision thing out of like most fighters would affect him, especially, you know, with his defense and the way he uses defense. But Tanner?
After the eye poke, because there was also the eye poke in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sean, after the fight, said that he really couldn't see out of his eye either.
Yeah, and to add on to that, when he was asked by the ref if he could see right before that, he told his cornerman, he's like, I can't see. And then the ref came up to him and he's like, oh, yeah, I can see.
Yeah, he did do that.
Because they would have called off the fight. But I think if he can maintain the range and just kind of, you know, use his boxing, it's way better than DDP's. And that's shown in the first round, or basically up until that cut happened. And I think people just like to pick DDP now because of all the stuff that Sean's been saying, and people don't like his character. So I don't know, I feel like everyone just acted like DDP walked through him, which was like, you know, not the case.
He struggled against Sean, and he was losing to Izzy too.
Yeah.
But the thing is Sean won't be able to be caught in a submission like Izzy can.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people...
Like, no one has better jiu-jitsu in that division other than Robert Whitaker than Sean. Probably.
Yeah, especially defensive grappling.
Oh,
I don't think anyone... And I don't think DDP is going to be able to hop on his back and submit him.
No, and that
like
was in the
Izzy.
first fight.
Yeah.
That was in the first fight. Sean just kept getting back up. Dreykus couldn't hold him down. He couldn't get him into any like threatening position.
Here's
Sean
a question.
Just up.
Yeah.
Do you think Strickland shoots? Even
I could see Strickland taking him down for sure. I could see it. He took down Imavov.
When he was talking to Bisping, his coach, they were talking about how
Eric Nixick.
Yeah, he was frustrated with Sean because the whole part of the game plan last time was to try to shoot, and if they did go to the ground, try to get top control and cause damage. So
he didn't do it though. He just didn't want to.
Yeah, exactly. And I
like
think that's
for that
part of the
reason.
game plan this time.
So after Sean had fought Izzy, he made an Instagram post and he's like, maybe I'll show you motherfuckers what I can do on the ground just for. And it's like, if anything, this is the time to do it, because the problem about Sean is like, Sean likes to put on or at least attempt to put on a show, but it's like, he can put on a show by his grappling too. Like, it's entertaining to watch if you've ever seen him grapple. Like, he's phenomenal at it. I just don't know why he doesn't use it. Well, it's like, good grappling can be just as entertaining as good striking. And it's not like DDP isn't a slouch grappling either. Like, he's a legit jiu-jitsu artist too, and he's got pretty good takedown defense. Well, he's got a just good overall too.
A good Hail Mary pick, I think, coming from this episode is, if you want to throw a Hail Mary, odds to for Sean Strickland to win by submission is plus 2,800.
But yeah, I think the final thing
$5 or something in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the final thing though, like, to take away from this all is like, both of them have 36 hours to recover. So DDP is going to be massive. Sean will be massive, but who knows what that infection, well, he calls it a scar. Who knows what that scar is going to do.
And I also, wanted to add one more thing. So DDP kind of in the interviews has been saying that so he knows he can go 5 rounds pushing the pace with Sean, but I feel like he's not factoring in the headbutt, and you know, the fact that Sean just couldn't see, and he started to have way more success when he was visually impaired.
That's why it was 1-2-5. Like, that's what most people scored. It was 1-2-5 for Sean.
All right, what, Rigo?
Sorry, I lost my track of thought. But you know, yeah, I basically lost what I was saying. Damn.
Rip.
You were talking about how Drickus was only picking it up after the eye poke and the blood.
Oh yeah, he's basically just, you know, in the interviews talking about how he's going to push the pace from the start, and I don't think that's a great idea to do with someone who's defensively sound like Sean. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to land it as easily. But the one way I could see him winning is just, I guess, catching Strickland. You know, there's always that possibility he could just land a big punch and just TKO him that way. But I don't see him winning by submission.
Isn't that how Drickus beat Robert, right? It was on Robert's back foot.
Robert blitzed in and into his jab.
Yeah, and a jab sat Robert down.
But his eyes were closed.
And also, I feel like Sean has a chin. Like you can watch like
Yes.
any of his recent fights, and he can eat shots and shots and shots. It's not like Alex Pereira. You know, that's different. That's Sean.
Put his lights out.
It's getting
twice.
touched by the fucking hand of
That's
God.
that's cutting at a 185. You know, you gotta factor in that.
Yeah, that's a big ass mofo. I mean, they're both. I mean, Drickus cuts from like 222 or whatever it is. Too.
Yeah, but he's like compact.
But,
You got that
I mean,
compact
ESP,
neck.
dude.
again, I want Sean to win. I'd pick Sean to win. However, like this fight could just go exactly how the other one was going. So
Honestly,
we'll see
like,
what a possible no cut, no eye poke fight is for Sean versus DDP, and we'll see what happens.
early in the first fight, he was finding a lot of success, like with just 1 or 2 hit combos. Maybe he'll just press the attack more this fight early on.
Yeah, I mean, DDP
every
looked
time-
fucked up.
Every time Dreykus is defending, he has a high guard. Every time he put up the high guard, Sean would just teep or throw a jab right down the fucking middle. But
Yeah,
he just
so-
wouldn't do
Height.
anything with it. And then takedowns and getting taken down, just swung that pendulum to DDP.
My final pick would probably be just either Strickland decision or DDP TKO. The 2 ways I see it going. I don't see DDP winning another decision unless he headbutts Strickland, which is another possibility just by the way he fights, you know. And it's never on purpose, you know. But like he just goes in head first, and it always leaves opportunity for headbutts.
He's chaotic.
Sweet. Well, we can end it there then. We'll be doing an episode for UFC Seattle, but
We're attending
We'll be there. We'll give you guys some live footage from inside the building.
live footage. we do our
Sign up
picks
for
We
it.
actually got some
now.
good seats. The
We
club.
should ask people
club
like,
seats.
who they got. Take a video and ask who they got.
that'd be cool.
I
Little interview.
got Cejudo.
All right.
Yeah, it's like Cejudo getting slept by Song Yadong round 2.
All right. Later.
Y'all should make a bet on it.
Rodrigo just churned.